Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, October 21st, and we are here trying to help you get wherever it is you want to go. And I just want to underscore that about 3,000 times, because what someone else's desires are, what your next door neighbor is doing, what your boss is doing, what your friends are doing, has nothing to do with what you want to do. So if you are thinking about doing something, some goal that you have, and you want to run it past two people who are certified financial planners, but we don't do it for a living. We talk to you guys for a living, talking heads kind of. And you just want to get a little bit of advice, mentoring, coaching, then this is the show for you. If that's you, you just go to our website, jillonmoney.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there is a Contact Us button. You click the button, write us a note. And at the bottom, it says, would you be willing to come on the show live with us? If you check the box, Mark Talercio, the very best executive producer in the whole wide world, he will take it from there. So all you have to do is jillonmoney.com, contact us. While you're on the website, don't forget to check out the free content that lives there, the free weekly newsletter. There is a blog, there are resources, there are videos, all right there for free. You want to spend a few bucks, you can buy my book, The Great Money Reset. You can subscribe to Jill on Money Live, $45 for the next 12 months. We've got an upcoming webinar. It's coming up in a month, and it is going to be awesome. We are going to do year-end tax and financial planning on Wednesday, November 19th. You must be a subscriber to Jill on Money Live. Again, $45 is all it costs for the next 12 months. You get access to that webinar and then 3 more, and the back catalog of the webinars, bonus audio and video content, $45 for the next 12 months. Check it out. Okay, right now, let us get to the matter at hand. We've got Jessica, who joins us from Seattle. Hello, Jessica. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. What's happening? What's going on?
Well, I've had a long career in technology, and as of late, my partner and I have thought about running off to Europe. Yes, and that may be temporary. It could be part-time. It could be permanent. And what I would love to do is take, about a year and have us go explore that opportunity.
I hope one of you has a lot of money saved. Since you said you've had a long career in tech, I'm thinking you might be the one who has the lots of money socked away. Is that the case?
We sort of are diversified with real estate and cash. And yes, I have saved quite a bit of it.
Great. Jessica, how old are you?
I will be 52 in January.
Do you have any kids that we have to worry about?
I do. He's 24 years old. And so the worrying is subsiding, but still a factor.
Are you supporting the 24-year-old, or is the 24-year-old really launched?
I mean, he's on my phone plan and health insurance, but I am not paying any day-to-day living expenses.
You're not paying $1,000 a month in rent?
No.
Okay. All right. How old is your partner?
He is, he'll be 51 in October, just coming up on a birthday.
Okay, great. Have you guys combined your financial lives?
No, we have remained fairly independent. So we met about 5 years ago and have put our lives together. So we have estate planning and all of that taken care of, but we really do stay fairly independent in terms of our finances.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So right now, are you working full time?
I am.
How much do you earn?
I'm in sales, so it's a variable comp. But if I look at my averages, it's somewhere between 350 and 500.
Wow. Okay. And is he working right now?
He is a small business owner, and he is working.
When we're talking about can we run away, are we going to combine all of your resources, or are you just looking at your own resources in this conversation?
So I am looking at my own resources. Now, he's super generous about, like, I stop working, income stops coming. He's a lot more flexible. Mm-hmm. So he offers me, I guess, in the case of an emergency, I'm not going to fall on my face, but I really am interested in independently with what I've saved and what I have, where am I on the spectrum of full retirement, partial retirement? Can we do this?
Okay, I got it. And you said you live together. Do you own real estate together?
No, we both own real estate, but not together.
Okay. So we're going to just talk about your real estate for right now.
Okay.
So the 24-year-old is they're on their own in terms of like, they're not living with you.
Correct.
Okay. So let's talk about your house. What is that house worth?
My home is worth about 680 to 700,000.
Okay. Is there a mortgage that still remains?
Yes, at 190K, and the rate is 2%.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're not selling that.
No.
Now, if you were to run away for a year, would someone rent it? Would someone stay there? How would you manage that asset?
So we're planning to go for about 4 months and
Okay.
then come back to the US. So the
Okay.
plan now is to just let it be.
Got it. Perfect. Okay.
yeah.
With your current position, would you be able to say take some sort of leave of absence, or would you have to just quit?
For various reasons, I would just quit.
Okay. Got it. So let's talk about the money that you've squirreled away. You've got money in a retirement plan through work, right?
Correct.
How much is in there?
So the current 401k is at 35,000.
Okay.
I have an IRA
Okay. What's in there?
that is just about $1 million.
Okay. And that's from old jobs that you've rolled over, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
that has not been taxed yet. This is all pre-tax traditional retirement money, right?
Correct.
Okay. Keep going. What else you got?
I've got a brokerage account that is about 1.5 million.
Ooh, all right. You go, girl. Okay.
And then I've got about 760K in high yield savings accounts.
Is that in anticipation of our runaway? Is that our runaway fund?
I wish I could say I was that well calculated. It was commission checks that had come in. We had intended to buy a home and thought, life has just sort of shifted. And we were like, gosh, what if we just,
What if we just ran away?
yeah. And then it would mean working not at all or working less. And that is actually more exciting than a cool house.
Okay. I'm with you. Okay. So if you look at your spending right now in your fancy career, making you 350 to 500 grand with your house, which actually is fairly affordable for Seattle, to be honest with you, what are you looking at in terms of expenses right now?
Yeah, I put together a plan for this year. Basically, for the year, my total expenses came, to like 90,000.
Okay. That's not bad.
And on a regular, month in the US, it's, like really I put a lot in there and it's like 8,500 a month. And so, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'd be quite comfortable.
Okay. Any other real estate besides your primary residence?
None.
Okay. So this is what we got. We got the kid, whatever. Expenses with your kid don't seem like it's that big a deal in terms of, for a couple more years, keeping someone on your insurance. Although if you leave this job, then we have to get you health insurance.
Right.
Right. So that's going to add. And your kid, is your kid employed?
Somewhat.
Somewhat enough to get health insurance or not?
He does have health insurance through his dad.
Oh.
So he is covered. I don't have to worry about him. I have budgeted, $500 to $750 a month for health insurance going forward, assuming I don't have a job.
The $8,500 a month, does that include the health insurance or not?
It does.
Okay, great. Perfect. Have you done any exploration of what it would cost you to run around for 4 months, playing? Would you look at one home base? Would you, say, I'm going to get a long-term rental, or like, how do you want to think about the next 4 months?
I've done a bit of budgeting on that, and I think it's going to cost me, about $7,600, $8,000 a month in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, the whole trip, if I budgeted $25,000, I'd probably have a really nice time. And
you know what I was doing in my mind, just because I do these kinds of things. I am conservative. If you listen to the program, so I'm thinking, that the high yield savings of 760. I just think you're going to burn up 60 grand. Like that's my European adventure is 60 grand. Okay, and then the question is, I guess that we would have to also pay a certain amount of expenses we have to pay for your house and taxes and all that kind of stuff, right? So even if you said 25 grand, I still have all these other expenses, right?
When I did this budget, I have included my U.S. expense.
I don't believe it. All right. Really? No, I'm only kidding. I'm just still going to say 60. We're going to spend 60. Okay? Now, it's 6 months later. And you want to know what happens when I come back, right?
Yes.
And the question is, can your money generate your $8,500 a month or $9,000 a month, whatever it is, ends up, that you would need for the rest of your life? And, look, I'd like to say no sweat, but you're really young. And, I hope you have lots of longevity in your genes, but not knowing what your partner's part of this, but if your expenses, Jessica's expenses are $8,500 a month, we're going to have to be willing to spend down some money. I don't know how you feel about that in terms of, could you just start, from 52 to 59, spend some money from your high yield savings account in your brokerage and then pull money out of your IRA and then do that for a number of years and then wait until Social Security. I don't know if you're going to make it 100%. Mark, I bet you're running some numbers for me as I yak about this. Can we generate $8,500 a month for Jessica for the rest of her life? In other words, when she comes back from her European adventure, does she have to get a job?
It's very, very close. I mean, can it happen? Probably, but every single thing has to go right. There's really no wiggle room. And, a lot of that money's sitting in cash. You got to get it to work.
Right. So if you're saying to us, hey, what happens if I come back in 4 to 6 months? You come back, you've spent 60 grand, everything's cool. And you're like, that was fun. I want to move there. The answer is then you're going to have to make some different decisions, right? Because then you would have to basically decide, can I live in Europe for a lower cost than the US and never work again? I think what would be more likely is you go take your romp, you have an amazing time, you return, you get a job that maybe where you don't have to make as much money because you are making a ton of money, right? 350 to, can you work less and make $1.75 and let all of your money just work for you and spend the money for your expenses and, make sure the kid's okay and you're living your life? That to me seems like a more realistic way to approach this, or at least thinking about it that way, because that way we don't have to basically hope that every single thing goes correct and right. And that you have a little bit of, you build in some fluff in the plan. Do you think that you could be amenable to doing something like that?
Absolutely. And the question is it, something I really love to do that's outside of tech completely? And if it's 50,000, does that solve it? Or do I need to sort of earn more in the 175? Because that's very possible as well. It's just that spectrum of, can I really go do something I love? Like I'm, just totally outside of tech, or do I need to kind of bite the bullet and say, yeah, you're going to have to do a job?
Well, I mean, 50, if you had some other benefits, could be great. So think of it this way. We would have to see what you got. I'll give you an example. A guy came on the program and he's like, I work in tech, but he worked at a university. And in his case, he worked in tech in a university and they put away a ton of money in his retirement account. So he made closer to $100 grand a year, but they were putting away 15% regardless into retirement for him. And it took a lot of the burden off him. Then he could just spend his money, right? And so I think it depends on what we're comparing it to. If you're telling me, it's 50 grand a year and I'm a docent at the museum and I'm still spending exactly the same amount of money, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I'm more comfortable in the 100 range. You don't have to kill it. But if you can go, even if you said, look, I know how to do, this is the thing that I think about for myself. I'm just going to put myself in your shoes. I am a salesperson by training. I really am. I was a trader, but I was really in sales. When you're a financial planner and someone who is an investment manager, you're selling people on your services. And so I've always thought this is a skill that nobody likes to think is a skill. They're like, no, you're just in sales. I'm like, actually, it's a skill. And you have that skill. And it is a magic skill, Jessica. It is magic. People don't know how to do it. And if you are good at it, it may mean that you take that skill to something else. And it may be that you say, maybe it's just a different kind of a company. Maybe you're in a big, huge company now. You don't want to be in that anymore. And you want to be in a smaller company. Maybe you want to sort of work in startup land where you're like, you know what? I want to have fun again. I want to feel like I'm part of whatever it is. But if you want to go outside of what your industry is, I would be careful not to throw away just how important that skill is of selling, because I think that is quite valuable no matter where you go.
That makes sense. And this aligns pretty well with what I've been thinking as well, to do something. And the question is what, and what are the requirements of that? And I think I have a much better idea now. So,
well, and I think that you can do, what's cool is if you're really going to give your notice, I don't know when you get bonuses and all that kind of stuff, but you can use your time now to start like working that network, firing it up, talking to people, seeing what's out there. It's funny. I have a friend of mine who has worked in like health tech his whole life. Mm-hmm. And every time whatever business he's working in gets like almost medium size, he loses interest like so fast. And I know for him, it's like, I love the jazz of just like, I'm part of the beginning, and it's exciting. And then there's other people I know who are like the exact opposite. Like, all I want is like the comfort of a big, warm corporation that has really good benefits, so you can look around and see what's out there. But taking this break is not going to be terrible. I certainly don't feel like, there's some people who I'm like, do not give up your job because it's hard to get a new one. But if you are in sales and you are in tech, you know you're always employable. You do.
Right.
So I think it sounds great. Where do you want to go first? When we talk about like, I want to go run away, mm-hmm. Where's our first destination?
We're actually going to do a trip to Japan, and then we're really heading to Portugal, and we're going to kind of move Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, and then hit the Ireland, Scotland on our way out.
So listen, before you go, of course, you're just making sure, buttoning up estate documents, mm-hmm. making sure you have your own healthcare taken care of, like all of these things, making sure the kids set up, and just in your head, just say, okay, $700,000 in that high yield savings account. When you get back, when we know what your next step is, I think part of the plan will have to be getting that $700,000 to work.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
Right?
Agreed.
Like
yep.
You can dollar cost average. You could start doing it now, but I don't know if you're going to have like the stomach to do that. But I'm just saying, I'd like by the end of 2026, whatever maybe it's $500,000 of the 760 has to be invested, has to go into that brokerage account to get it working.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
Jessica from Seattle, I'm excited. Can't wait to get the travel log photos. We're right here. We're rooting for you. I like this.
Thank you.
Hey, can you run away? Whether it's 4 months, 6 months, can you do something different in your life? Let us help you work through it. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note. And if you want to join us on the air live, like Jessica, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Don't forget, put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Someone needs a little push, a little pull in. Just give somebody something of yourself. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.